Hello and welcome. This video is part of a series of taking a deep dive into understanding burnout, recognizing early signs, especially those subtle ones, and mastering effective recovery strategies so you can thrive. Many high achievers, especially women navigating career and parenthood, don't really recognize when we reach burnout territory until it's too late. Many give themselves permission only to rest when laying sick in bed. And I'm passionate about helping you break that cycle. It does not have to be that way, and it's not supposed to be that way. My calling and my passion is about helping you embrace your own flavor of how to be, do, and feel your best without burning out. If you are a high achiever at heart, a parent, an entrepreneur, or a professional, and find yourself chronically overwhelmed despite taking breaks or time off, this video is a great starting point for you. I'm Jana Karstens, a certified holistic life and wellness coach. I specialize in helping ambitious women in tech thrive without burning out. And I'm also the founder of Realign and Thrive and the creator of the R4 method for burnout prevention and burnout recovery. And before I became a professional coach, I spent over a decade in the software design and development industry, working with Fortune 500 companies and consultancies. And I'm very intimate with the high performance environments and the subtle ways that burnout can creep in, especially in those of us who have a strong drive to achieve and to perform and to grow. So let's dig into how burnout is more than just too much work and the too muchness of what we're experiencing in our lives. So first, what is burnout? Burnout is the result of chronic overfunctioning over a long period of time. Burnout is not typically a result of one extreme or overwhelming experience, but a slow buildup from navigating and dealing with continuous challenges. And we can get exhausted after putting a lot of effort and time and energy into a project or a relationship, or there is an unexpected life challenge or task that can leave us exhausted, but not necessarily burnt out. If you feel revived, energized, and back to your place of inner vitality, peace, and excitement for life after resting for a few days, it's a huge indicator that you're not burnt out, just merely exhausted. Now, if we're able to recoup our energy quickly in a matter of a few days, that's not burnout, that's exhaustion. It's a natural part of being alive and stretching our limits as a result of growth. Now, if you still feel drained, even after taking time off and resting for a few days, you're likely tapping into burnout territory. So burnout is the result of chronic overwhelm that builds up over time. And this can happen due to continually taking on multiple demanding projects back to back, like think about working as a consultant, or you're caring for multiple family members. It can also come from experiencing a single prolonged stressful situation, like caring for a sick loved one, or working for a toxic boss, or being in a toxic relationship. So even if you step away from these challenges physically, taking a few days of rest, the stress often lingers or quickly returns when you resume your typical routine. So for example, you may go on vacation, but find your mind still preoccupied with the same issues, preventing you from truly relaxing and fully enjoying the present moment. Or you may feel temporarily rested after a break, only to have the stress resurface within a few days or weeks. That's when we need to start to be sensitive to the signals we're receiving from within us. Burnout affects you holistically, physically, mentally, emotionally, and relationally. It's a result of long-term overfunctioning in these areas. And it feels normal because we naturally adapt to stress. It's even beneficial to feel it in small amounts because it's motivating, but that adaptation over a prolonged period of time changes us neurologically and physically as we become used to the stress chemicals, which is why it's so hard to just stop, since it starts to feel normal. It's going undetected until it's too late. Kind of like if you're in a smelly room, it stops smelling bad over time, which is why it's so important to start recognizing the subtle ways and become sensitive to how those appear within you physically, mentally, and emotionally, so you can start making meaningful changes. Now, high achievers are especially prone to burnout. Some experts even say that we're wired to burnout because of our innate drive to succeed. and to perform at high standards, which is something that pulls us towards growth. It's a very, very healthy trait to have, but it's also can come with a massive blind spot to the slow burn. And I recall a recent client who thought she was managing really well and doing all the right things until she realized that she was still pushing herself beyond her limits because she was experiencing constant headaches and brain fog, which were signs of early burnout. So she shifted to listening to her body instead of numbing all those pains out and pushing through them, and it led to a profound transformation to how she practices self-love. So what I've learned is that a high achiever's main lesson really is to learn how to honor that drive, while at the same time knowing that we have limits, and to set boundaries in meaningful ways that protect those limits. Now think of yourself as a race car. Without proper maintenance and care, even the highest quality and fastest cars will break down. Now in the same way, we need to take care of ourselves to prevent and recover from burnout in a proper way. But what we do instead is we push through, we ignore our own dashboard signals that show us physically and mentally and emotionally that it's time to recalibrate and to realign until something breaks inside of us. And the burnout is the ultimate signal that we need to take ourselves to the shop. So next I want to talk about a main misconception. A main misconception that keeps us trapped in the burnout cycle is that many of us believe that burnout is caused by too much work. While workload definitely is one factor, and our ability to manage workload is part of overall well-being management, it's not the root cause. We take time off, maybe treat ourselves to a spa day or get a massage, maybe even go on vacation, and we may even take some stuff off our plate thinking that taking time off from work or away from a challenge we're experiencing for a long time, like that we will reset and rejuvenate, but you only find yourself that the overwhelm returns a few weeks, sometimes even days after you come back. Now, while taking time off makes perfect sense, and taking time off is part of taking care of yourself, once you have reached burnout territory, it often will not be enough to revive and recharge fully. And what you'll find is that you'll get back into your same patterns once you return from taking the time off. So what if I tell you that to truly recharge and to revitalize from chronic stress, you need to go deeper? Now, while taking time off to reset is just the beginning and the tip of the iceberg, and to truly reclaim your peace, vitality, and energy requires looking at and addressing the stuff that's below the surface. What if the reluctance to going deeper is actually the cause of the internal pressure leading to the lid flying off the pressure cooker in the form of stress? That full presence, clarity, peace, and fulfilling work and relationships are on the other side of knowing, understanding, and tending to your own root causes of your burnout experience. That what we experience as chronic stress is a collection of beliefs and mindsets that lead to overfunctioning, hyper-responsibility, perfectionism, people-pleasing, just to name a few things. So what do we do instead? To truly revive after burnout, it's important to first consider that what you're experiencing as too much is a symptom of burnout and not the cause. I'll say it again. Too much work, too much drama, the too muchness is a symptom of burnout, not the cause. The true root cause lies in the specific combination of underlying beliefs that are driving you about performance, rest, and high expectations. So if this resonates with you, you will love my free masterclass. It covers my holistic approach to burnout recovery and ultimately how to thrive as a high-achieving woman in the tech industry. You can get access to it by clicking on the link in the description. So what does it take to truly prevent and recover from burnout? If you are someone who finds themselves in burnout territory, someone who isn't revived and rejuvenated by taking time off, if you find yourself not finding the stillness and ease after a weekend or time off, then I believe you will benefit from a holistic approach to burnout recovery. I believe that we are in charge of our energy. We are in charge of our decisions, our time, and what we direct our attention and energy to. That ultimately our well-being is in our control regardless of the circumstances in our lives. Now, physical rest only truly works when it's combined with a heart and mind reset, which will free you from the compulsive behaviors that lead to burnout resulting patterns. Now, achieving that requires a holistic approach that teaches you to embrace and recognize your physical signals, to read the dashboard accurately, so to speak, a holistic approach that addresses whatever unique cocktail of limiting beliefs you're carrying that no longer serve you, an approach that leads you to uncover and get intimate again with the deep needs of your heart, which aches to be heard again. Now, I believe and I know through personal experience that when we approach stress management and burnout prevention through a holistic lens, that's when we can truly be, do, and feel our best without ever burning out again. So to recap, I shared with you what burnout is and that it's not just a result of too much work, but it's chronic overfunctioning physically, mentally, and emotionally, where stress builds up over a longer period of time. Second, we covered the misconception that too much work is the cause of burnout, where too much work is actually a symptom, not the cause of burnout. The cause runs deeper and is a combination of repressed, authentic, hard desires and limiting beliefs we hold about work, performance, and rest. And then lastly, that holistic approach that takes our physical, emotional, and mental consideration is by far the deepest, fastest, and most comprehensive way to heal from burnout and to transform our lives and to thrive again. Thank you all for watching. You can sign up to view the free masterclass that covers the R4 methodology designed to treat the root cause of your burnout and to reignite you towards thriving in all areas of your life. I'm Jana Karstens. You are on the Realign and Thrive channel, and I hope to see you again soon.